What's up, everybody? Lou from Hypocritic here, back on the show floor at PAX West 2024. We are here with Rob and Max from Woodrunner Games to talk about Croak. Thank you so much for taking some time.
Thanks for the interview.
So, for those who don't know, tell us all about Croak.
Yes, so Croak is a 2D hand-drawn platformer. Each animation are hand-drawn, traditionally frame by frame, and we have the artists that work with us that usually used to work on Cuphead. And it's a fast-paced gameplay, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so basically it's a silly frog that uses tongue as a grapple mechanic and kind of bounce and propel themselves everywhere like a pinball. So yeah, we have a lot of fun with it.
And it is a lot of fun when you sit down and play it. So the art style specifically, let's start there. Beautiful, lush, hand-drawn, all these things that you were saying. Why that approach specifically for this game in particular?
Yeah, so maybe I can answer that one. I wanted something that would feel familiar to the people. I love Disney movies, like old school, and we love animation, right? So we want something that would feel familiar but simple to animate, but that we can also introduce a lot of charisma and personality into these little characters. So yeah, we thought it was like the perfect mix to really create a whole IP and a bunch of quirky, lovable characters. Yeah.
And it looks great when it comes into motion with the game design and the mechanics. Precision platformer, as is advertised, and brings to mind maybe some of those titles that have been around the genre for a while. Let's say Pizza Tower, Cuphead, Celeste certainly, but certainly doing its own unique things, especially with some of the tongue mechanics that you use to kind of open up the level design and make it feel a little more broad and maybe experimental in that sense. So can you talk a little bit about how you came upon these mechanics in particular with the tongue, with bouncing back and forth, and how you refine those mechanics to make them play as well as they do in the demo here?
Yeah, so basically the plan there was to have something that feels familiar to the player, but at the same time unique, right? So we used the grapple mechanic to bounce everywhere like we said, but we use also all the gameplay elements and all the mechanics that are unique to all the biomes to keep it like super fresh, refreshing, and we have crazy boss fights in all the biomes to push that even further. And yeah, that's it.
Said it all, honestly.
Covered all the ground. That's great. Let's touch on the biomes for a second. How do the specific mechanics related to the different biomes that are in the game impact the gameplay and the core mechanics that are everywhere, basically?
Especially with this game.
Yeah, so what we like to do is like I design star characters in every biomes. So in the first one we have the mice that are a bit funny looking and a bit crazy where you bounce on them. But we have bunch of stuff. Yeah. It's between us. It's between us. So yeah, a bunch of stuff that we put in the game where it's very, very dynamic. We don't have something that you look and feel a bit stale. We really have something that's dynamic, and we use it also on the environment. So in the level where there's a bunch of mice, you can see in the background mice running, pointing at you, and doing their stuff. And yeah, we try to use that very interesting gameplay elements everywhere and make it feel very alive, and we love immersion there.
And you were talking about the art style earlier, the animations. We use those characters to make sure, because we're doing a challenging platformer, right? And we want people to feel, to like the game and to enjoy playing the game, to enjoy dying a bunch of times in the room. So that we think like our cube frog, like this frame, for example, we think it helps the player to just enjoy the game, even though like it's challenging.
Yeah, that's great. And those mice are ready to throw hands. They are not messing around.
You killed it though.
I tried. It was a lot of fun. Let's talk about that difficulty for a second, because sometimes, especially for players who maybe aren't as skilled, there can be a fine line to thread there between having it accessible but not challenging enough for those that really want to get put to the test, and too hard where people get discouraged. You say you want people to have fun dying. You want people to go at it over and over again. How do you thread that needle? How do you find that balance between making it accessible and challenging?
I think accessible is the right word there, because we want to have a lot of options for accessibility. But we talked about the art style, but also each rooms are a single challenging puzzle. So you don't lose your progression even in the boss fight when you're in the second phase. If you die there, you won't go back to the beginning, right? So that's some things we're really looking for in the game to make sure people there's no frustration on dying. They just like a lot of reaction we're having here at PAX. People are dying and like, oh, they're smiling because, oh damn, I died there. Oh yeah, he got me. The paper got me. All right. So that's the kind of reaction we're looking for.
Also, in the point of view of structure for the game, one thing that we love to do is that there's like over 1,000 rooms. That is like the main game that is aiming for like an experienced platformer player that wants a challenge. So it's still challenging for them, right? But it's not brutal. But with a system of collectibles that we have, you can get all these insanely difficult levels that you can unlock, like another 1,000 rooms to get all the different endings and more on the story, how to break the curse and all that. So we kind of have like not 2 games in one, but it's like a full and a whole experience that you can really do what you want to do about it and do it at your own pace and everything. Right?
And I think in terms of putting some of that challenge together and making it feel very player-centric, choice and how you want to approach it, it all comes down to those core mechanics, right? And if the gameplay's not responsive, if it's not refined, if it doesn't feel good, you're not going to get that engagement, right?
Exactly.
So in working to refine the mechanics and finding the right balance between responsiveness and how many times you can use certain mechanics, can you talk a little bit about what that refinement process looked like in terms of trying to get the feel of the game just right?
Well, we were, when we met, we were taking a beer, going to my place and just chilling, playing platformers. We love platformers. And I like to say that I'm never mad, but I'm very easily annoyed, right? So with feel, we really get really close to that balance really fast. But then we playtest like crazy and we put so much time to get the feel right and that balance, to get the control right for all the gameplay elements and the character. So we think that it's just too important, and you really need to have that down from the start for a precision platformer. So yeah.
Yeah, and also we like, as you said, playtesting is really the key there. We have a community that's with us on Discord, our insider program. We do a bunch of playtesting, and also what we do is we're playtesting rough animations, like early on, putting some quality of life on the character controller to make sure like it feels super fluid, and it gives to mid-core players the ability to just finding the sweet spots to speedrun and sting, and to casual players to it's easy. It helps the player like, oh, I jumped there, but I wasn't supposed to. So and honestly, it's all about like playtesting it rough before going to polish it and adding a bunch of little quality of life on each of the gameplay elements.
Great, and a very good way to source that feedback. What better way to get it than direct from a lot of engaged players. Let's touch briefly on the narrative before we wrap. Mentioned a couple times, and there is a good story to kind of underpin the gameplay and the level design. Tell us a little bit about the story behind it.
The Frog Prince.
Yeah, so basically he's obviously a human prince. And he got cursed. The kingdom is doomed because he's a horrible, horrible leader. And because of that, everybody is mad at him because he didn't do anything for hundreds of years to try to break the curse. So now that everybody's mad, maybe he should try to change his ways and to be better with the kingdom. He's pretty bad at it, but he got good intentions. And that's it's his quest, basically.
Okay, so then it's up to you, the player, to help him figure it out.
Exactly.
So then, in terms of learning more about Croak, where can players go if they want to learn more? Obviously, wishlisting on Steam, but beyond that, can they join this Discord Insider program? Do you have a sort of roadmap for release or an announcement of a date, anything like that?
Yeah, we want people to join the Discord if they can, just because we want to build that game with the community. So really often we want to know like the color of our mouse, for example, and we do that with the community to it's not only our game, it's our game together, and we build it that way.
Yeah, and also we're having a lot of fun on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. We have our community manager here, Julia, that's doing a lot of videos and having fun with it. So yeah, feel free to join us on our crazy journey.
Fantastic.
Also, I can add that we just revealed it, but probably like first quarter next year, we're gonna announce when we're gonna reveal the game. We're gonna announce the game, but it's something we're like in the middle of production, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Fantastic. It sounds like it. Rob and Max, thank you both so much for the time, and
Thanks for having us.
keep it tuned here to Hypocritic for more from PAX West all weekend long.
Thank you.